Welcome back, seniors. Hope you all are good. I waited for you to click on this video. So let's move on to the story. The story I'm about to share is not meant to scare you. It is not meant to make you live in fear. Life and death are always in the hands of God. No, one can change the hour that is written for them. But what we can do while we are here is learn, reflect, and take small steps to protect the beautiful gift of life we have been given. This story is about a 72-year-old man who went to bed one evening like he had done every single night of his life, not knowing it would be his last. It is about the quiet lessons hidden inside the ordinary routines we often ignore. Thomas was 72 years old, living in the suburbs of Chicago with his wife Margaret. They had been married for almost 50 years, a lifetime of shared mornings, quiet dinners, children who had grown up and moved away, and grandchildren who now filled their home with laughter during holidays. Thomas had always been the kind of man who loved simplicity. He was not a millionaire. He was not famous. But he was deeply loved. Every neighbor on the block knew him as the man who always waved, who always helped carry groceries, who fixed a fence without asking for money. That day had been ordinary. He had spent the afternoon in his garden, trimming the roses Margaret loved so much. He sat on the porch with his newspaper, sipping tea, and telling Margaret about the weather that was supposed to cool down next week. Later that evening, they shared a simple dinner: roast chicken, some potatoes, and a slice of apple pie Margaret had baked earlier in the day. It was a quiet, beautiful evening. Nothing about it felt like the end. When Thomas got ready for bed, he kissed Margaret's forehead and told her he would see her in the morning. She remembers those words with tears in her eyes even now. He slipped under the covers, pulled the blanket to his chest, and drifted off to sleep. But sometime during the night, as the house fell into silence, Thomas's breathing slowed, and his heart stopped beating. He passed away peacefully in his sleep. The next morning, when Margaret woke up, she thought he was still resting. She made coffee, set the table, and called his name softly. When he didn't respond, she walked into the bedroom and touched his hand. It was cold. Her heart shattered in that instant. She screamed. She cried. She called their children, but deep inside she knew he was gone. When the family gathered that day, the question on everyone's lips was the same. Why? He wasn't in the hospital. He wasn't battling an illness. He seemed so healthy just hours before. How could he simply go to sleep and never wake up? Doctors later explained that certain habits, combined with age, can create risks we don't even see. Silent risks that build over years. Habits that may seem harmless, but weigh on the body, especially at night. Now, I want to pause here and remind you again. This story is not meant to make you afraid of sleep. It is not meant to scare you into thinking every night could be your last. Because truly only God decides the span of our lives. No medicine, no routine, no precaution can ever control that. But still, what we can do, out of love for ourselves and our families, is learn from such moments. We can look at our habits, our routines, our choices, and ask ourselves if we are making life easier or harder for our bodies. Thomas's story is not just about death. It is about the reminder that life is fragile, that even the strongest of us can be taken suddenly, and that our loved ones are left behind holding memories. It is about love, about the bond between husband and wife, and about how every evening, every dinner, every kiss on the forehead matters. And it is also about awareness. Awareness of the things we often dismiss. A heavy meal late at night, unresolved stress carried into bed, a room too hot or too cold, a body not getting the water it needs, or a heart that never got the peace it was looking for before closing its eyes. These things matter, so as we go forward, I want you to stay with me. Think of Thomas. Think of Margaret. Think of their children who woke up to a world without a father that day. And know that the lessons we are about to talk about are not meant to trap you in fear, but to guide you into gentle care. Because maybe, just maybe, if we pay attention, If we make small changes, we can add not only years to our lives, but peace to our nights. And before I continue, I want to tell you something personal. If you are listening right now, if you are a senior or if you love someone who is older, I am here for you. You are not alone. Every story I share, every word I speak is with the hope that you feel cared for, that you feel like someone is watching out for you. And if you want me to always stay connected with you, all you have to do is subscribe. That way, I will always be here, whenever you need me, bringing you more stories, more lessons, more reminders that you are not forgotten. Now, let us step into the lessons Thomas unknowingly left behind. Let us talk about the 5 bedtime habits that may seem small, but can sometimes take a heavy toll. And let us learn how to avoid them, so that we may rest with lighter hearts, calmer minds, and healthier bodies. Habit 1 that silently harms many seniors is eating heavy meals before bed. Imagine your body as a factory. All day long, it is processing, breaking down food, giving you energy, and keeping every system running. By the time evening arrives, that factory is tired. It wants to slow down. But when we eat a heavy meal late at night, we are forcing that tired factory to work overtime. The stomach has to digest, the intestines have to process, the liver has to release enzymes, and the heart has to pump harder to support this effort. For a young person, this strain might go unnoticed. But for someone over 60 or 70, the body does not recover as quickly. Now think of a 72-year-old man lying down after a late dinner. His stomach is still full. His digestion is incomplete. His blood pressure rises as his body struggles to handle the load. During sleep, when the heart should rest, it is forced to work harder. Sometimes this strain can lead to heartburn, sometimes to shortness of breath, and in unfortunate cases, even to heart failure in the middle of the night. Doctors often see this pattern, a heavy meal at night leading to a restless sleep or worse, a sudden event that no one expected. But this does not mean we should fear eating. Food is life. Food is joy. Food is love shared at the table. The key is timing and portion. Seniors especially should try to keep their dinners light. Soups, vegetables, fish, or a small portion of rice or bread are easier on the system. The heavy foods like fried meat, spicy curries, creamy desserts, and large plates of pasta are better enjoyed earlier in the day when the body has energy to digest them. Another reason heavy meals are dangerous at night is the way they affect breathing. When the stomach is full, it presses upward against the diaphragm. The lungs cannot expand fully, and this can trigger sleep apnea or snoring. Many seniors already struggle with breathing issues while asleep, and a full stomach only adds to the risk. Over time, this can become a silent killer, reducing oxygen levels in the blood and putting the heart under enormous pressure. So what can be done? Start by moving dinner earlier, at least 2 to 3 hours before bedtime. This gives the body enough time to handle digestion before you lie down. Second, reduce the size of your dinner plate. A simple trick is to use a smaller plate so your eyes do not feel cheated when you eat less. Third, if you still feel hungry later, choose something light, a banana, a glass of warm milk, or a small handful of nuts. These give comfort without overloading the system. Remember, food is not just about the stomach. It is about the heart too. When you eat lighter, your heart rests easier, your sleep becomes deeper, and your mornings feel fresher. This habit, though it seems small, can add not just years to your life but also quality to your nights. And to those who are listening right now, I want to remind you, you are not alone in this journey. Every tip I share is like me sitting across the table with you, talking softly, hoping you feel cared for. If you want to keep me close, if you want me to always be here to guide you through little changes that make big differences, then subscribe. That way, whenever you feel unsure, I will be right here with another lesson. Another reminder that your life matters. Now let us move to the second habit, one that many of us overlook, yet it silently takes away peace from our nights. That habit is carrying stress and unresolved worries into bed. Habit 2 that quietly affects seniors at night is carrying stress and unresolved worries into bed. You may not notice it, but the mind and the body are deeply connected. When the mind is restless, the heart beats faster, the breathing becomes shallow, and the body cannot relax into deep sleep. For seniors, this constant tension at bedtime can become dangerous because it raises blood pressure and prevents the heart from resting. Think about it. How many times have you laid down with thoughts racing about bills, about children, about mistakes of the past? Many older people carry regrets and worries quietly in their hearts. But when these feelings are taken into bed, they keep the body in a state of alertness instead of peace. For some, it can even trigger chest pain, anxiety, or sudden wake-ups in the middle of the night. So what can help? One of the simplest habits is to create a short bedtime ritual of release. It can be writing your thoughts on paper, saying a prayer, or simply telling yourself, "I leave my worries for tomorrow." Light stretching or slow breathing can also calm the nervous system. Even 10 minutes of quiet reflection with gratitude can ease the mind, reminding you of what is still good in life, rather than what is troubling you. When seniors practice letting go of stress at night, they sleep more peacefully, and peaceful sleep supports a longer, healthier life. Remember, every heartbeat is precious, and you deserve to give it rest. And once again, I want you to know, you do not have to carry these lessons alone. I am here with you. Whenever you want comfort, guidance, or even just a gentle voice reminding you that your life matters, subscribe. That way you will never feel forgotten, never feel like you are walking this road by yourself. Now let us continue forward to the third bedtime habit, one that seems small but has powerful effects on the body. How much or how little water we drink before bed. Habit 3 that quietly affects seniors at night is the balance of water intake before bed. Some people drink too much water, while others drink too little. Both can disturb sleep and place stress on the body. When an older person drinks too much water right before bed, the bladder fills during the night. This causes repeated trips to the bathroom, breaking the deep cycles of rest the body needs. Waking up again and again not only interrupts sleep, but can also increase the risk of falls, especially if the room is dark or if balance is already weak. A simple stumble in the night can lead to serious injuries for seniors. On the other hand, not drinking enough water during the day leaves the body dehydrated at night. Dehydration thickens the blood, strains the kidneys, and can even contribute to night cramps or confusion upon waking. For some older adults, low water levels may silently stress the heart while they sleep, creating risks that no one can see. The answer is balance. Seniors should drink enough water during the day to stay hydrated, but reduce intake about 2 hours before bed. This way, the body is not overloaded, and the bladder is not pushed into overwork. If thirst appears late at night, a few small sips are fine, but avoid large glasses. A light herbal tea earlier in the evening can also bring comfort without burdening the bladder. Chamomile, for example, calms the nerves and soothes the body into rest. These small adjustments protect sleep quality and allow the heart, kidneys, and brain to recharge peacefully. Water seems so ordinary, but when managed wisely, it can make the difference between a restless night and a night that heals. Now let us move to the fourth bedtime habit, one that is often ignored but can silently affect breathing and heart function. The position we sleep in and how it connects with conditions like snoring or sleep apnea. One common issue is sleep apnea, a condition where breathing repeatedly stops and starts while sleeping. It often goes unnoticed because the person is asleep and unaware. The signs are heavy snoring, gasping, or sudden jerks during the night. Sleep apnea can be very dangerous, especially for seniors, because it silently reduces oxygen and forces the heart into stress. In some cases, the lack of oxygen can trigger strokes, irregular heartbeat, or even sudden death during sleep. Sleeping position plays a big role here. Lying flat on the back can cause the tongue and soft tissues of the throat to collapse backward, narrowing the airway. This makes snoring and apnea worse. On the other hand, sleeping on the stomach may strain the neck and spine, causing discomfort and poor rest. For many seniors, the safest and most comfortable position is sleeping on the side, with a supportive pillow under the head and, sometimes between the knees for balance. This posture keeps the airway open and allows easier breathing. Another factor is the bedroom environment. A room that is too hot, too dusty, or filled with allergens can trigger coughing, congestion, and mucus buildup, which further blocks the airway. A cooler, cleaner room with fresh air helps. The lungs relax and reduces nighttime breathing problems. Elevating the head slightly with an extra pillow can also reduce snoring and ease pressure on the heart. Doctors sometimes recommend using a CPAP machine for those with diagnosed sleep apnea. While the device may feel uncomfortable at first, it can be life-saving by keeping the airway open throughout the night. Even without such equipment, simple lifestyle adjustments like losing excess weight, avoiding alcohol before bed, and choosing side sleeping can drastically improve nighttime breathing. Breathing is the most basic act of life, and yet we often take it for granted. Every deep, steady breath at night is a gift that carries us safely into the morning. Seniors who pay attention to their sleep, position, and address breathing issues are giving their hearts a chance to rest and their bodies a chance to heal. Now we move to the fifth and final bedtime habit. Habit 5 that silently steals health from many seniors is going to bed without peace of mind, without reflection, without gratitude. At first, this may not sound like a health habit. People may think health is only about diet, exercise, or medicine. But the truth is, the state of the heart and mind before sleep deeply shapes the quality of rest. When a person goes to bed carrying anger, regret, or bitterness, the body does not fully relax. The heart beats faster, the nervous system stays alert, and stress hormones quietly circulate through the blood. For an older person, this nightly cycle of emotional unrest can be just as harmful as eating POORY or skipping medication. It raises blood pressure, weakens immunity, and shortens the healing power of sleep. Over time, it takes away joy and even years of life. Now imagine another way. A senior sits quietly before bed, thinking of the good moments in the day, no matter how small. Maybe it was a kind word from a neighbor, a smile from a grandchild, or simply the warmth of the sun in the afternoon. They whisper a prayer of thanks, or write a few lines in a notebook, or just hold the hand of the person they love. This simple shift from worry to gratitude creates peace. And when the mind is at peace, the body follows. The heart slows down, the muscles soften, the breath deepens, and sleep becomes a place of healing. Many seniors also carry old wounds, words never spoken, forgiveness never given, regrets never shared. Holding on to these heavy emotions can silently harm the body every single night. That is why letting go before bed, even a little at a time, is so important. Forgiving does not mean forgetting. It means setting your heart free so you can rest. And when you rest, your body repairs, your memory sharpens, and your spirit grows lighter. Doctors may not always prescribe gratitude, but its effect is undeniable. Studies show that people who practice reflection and thankfulness before bed sleep longer, have fewer health problems, and wake up with better moods. Seniors especially benefit because their bodies crave calm, their hearts need gentleness, and their souls deserve peace. So how can you bring this into your life? It does not need to be complicated. Each night before closing your eyes, take a few moments to reflect. Ask yourself, what was one good thing about today? Who am I grateful for? What burden can I place in God's hands tonight? These small questions create a bridge between your day and your rest. If you live alone, speak your thoughts out loud, like talking to a friend. If you live with family, share a kind word before bed. If you believe in prayer, let that prayer be the last thing on your lips. And if you struggle with regrets, write them down and tell yourself you will revisit them tomorrow with more strength. This gentle practice protects your body in ways no medicine can. In the end, what keeps seniors strong at night is not only the food they eat or the position they sleep in. It is also the peace they create inside themselves. Peace allows the heart to rest, the mind to heal, and the spirit to prepare for a new morning. And if one night does become the last, as it did for Thomas in our story, then going to sleep with gratitude and peace makes that night a gentle one, not filled with fear or regret. That is the hidden power of this habit. When we look back at these 5 bedtime habits, it becomes clear that they are not just about sleep. They are about life itself. Eating too heavily at night, relying on alcohol to rest, skipping medication, keeping screens too close, and carrying an unrested heart. All of these may look small in the moment, but over years they quietly shape health, energy, and even destiny. Thomas's story reminds us that life can change overnight. A single bedtime routine, repeated for months or years, can either protect us or slowly weaken us. But the beauty is that it is never too late to choose differently. Even at 70, 80, or 90, the body still listens, the heart still responds, and the spirit still longs for care. So let this message be simple. Give your nights more respect. Let your last meal be light. Let your rest be natural, not forced. Let your medicine be taken faithfully. Let your screens be put aside. And let your heart be at peace before your eyes close. These are not punishments, they are gifts. Gifts you give yourself, and gifts that give back in the form of longer mornings, clearer thoughts, and stronger days. Every night, the body begins again. And every morning, life offers another chance. By avoiding these habits, by choosing gentleness over neglect, we honor the years we have lived and protect the years still waiting ahead. So tonight, when you lie down, remember, health is not decided in grand hospitals or by complex machines. Sometimes, it is decided in the quiet choices we make before we sleep. Sometimes I feel like talking with seniors is like sitting with an old friend. And honestly, I would love to see you again. It makes me happy knowing you are here, listening and taking care of yourself. You are a good person, and you deserve to be reminded of that. So if you want me to always come back to you with more stories, more guidance, and more comfort, then stay close. Like, share, and subscribe not just for me, but so that we never drift apart. Because I don't want this bond to fade. I want to meet you again, and again.